Well, I was going to spread this load of compost in my garden by hand. But I just remembered I have a dozer sitting in the woods back there. Well, this thing's been sitting all winter, so hopefully it'll start. It's also got a steering clutch out. I actually had it back here trying to bust it free, but it was a no-go. So I do need to get it up to the shop anyway. We're going to tear into it and fix up both steering clutches. And I think it might be low on compression too. I got to do some tests on that and some other things. I'll go into those details on a different video once I get it up to the shop. This is a TD9B. Well, it's definitely hard starting. I think you got something going on with this cylinder. I don't know if it's injector or what. It's one of the issues we gotta address. Well, that worked pretty good. So this is composted sawdust. Came from a sawmill that shut down back in the 90s, so it's pretty well composted. It should be good. I'm using it to kind of help loosen the soil up a little bit. I usually get like a hard, crusty clay layer on the top in the summertime. So now I'm gonna put my box blade on the 782 diesel and kind of do a little more spreading in some spots, and then I will hit it with the 782 with the tiller on it. I just got to throw a seat on that. Got a new one for it. Change the oil, and then on that one I just got to put the right side dual back on. So I had it set up for plowing last fall. So this is my Cub Cadet 782D. This thing is a workhorse. The only downfall is when I designed them, they made this spot too small for a big battery. And turning over this Kubota, it's just, I think it's kind of a known problem, which I just have a Napa battery in there. I should get some, I don't know. If anyone knows like the best compact battery that would turn this over, let me know in the comments. I did do the starter conversion, so it's got a faster cranking starter. So that definitely helped, but I still always end up with a dead battery. Yeah, and then shortly after I put the new starter in, can't seem to get my key to tighten up, so it's always turning. It's actually arcing down in there, so I gotta address that one these days. Let's get this thing fired up and get over the shop so I can put that other dual on. This thing dualed up like this is awesome. I had the wider tractor tread tires on here, and even them didn't do much. But once I actually built these dual adapters, they're definitely not true. They're a little wobbly, but for what this thing does, it works good. Well, this is my dedicated tilling tractor. I actually ended up buying this thing for 200 bucks. It was locked up when I got it, and the seller and I figured it was the notorious rod breaking. But, well, so I was determined to pull the engine out and fix it. But when I got the engine out and pulled the rear shroud off, there was actually a bolt had fallen down and wedged between the flywheel. So I pulled that bolt out, threw the engine back in, and it fired right up. It didn't come with the tiller, I had that, but it did come with a gearbox. Well, my ignition switch doesn't seem to be working on this one. I'll have to get that on order. I have to start it the old-fashioned way. Oh yeah, and I put a eBay carburetor on here, and choke orientation is different, so I couldn't use the stock choke lever, which appears to be gone. Alright, I ended up getting these ready to go. My video storage was full, so I did not get any of it filmed. But got the new seat on here, which this seat is terrible. I usually get these off eBay. I went on there and saw the one, it said previously purchased 2 years ago. And somewhere along the line they changed it, because this is not good. It's got like a big hump in the middle. It doesn't have the drain holes in it. It's probably not going to end up lasting. I needed a seat on there. Sick of sitting on the flat metal. I ended up having to mess with this key a bunch because I couldn't get the PTO to turn on to spin the tiller, because it runs off the electric PTO on the front to the mule drive, and then and this one's ready to go. Got the other wheel on. Just gotta go hook up the box blade and get started. Well, touching that up with the box blade definitely worked pretty good. Tilling it, however, did not. Made it that far. This belt is just too far gone. Popped off on me 3 times, so gonna run in tomorrow to town and probably buy a handful of them. Alright, well, it's the next day. I got a belt. This technically isn't the right belt. This is 1/2 by 54. The correct one is a 13/32 by 53, which so this one's about 10 thousandths wider. But they didn't have the right one, and I just want to get this done, so I grab this one, and when I order that key or the ignition switch, I want to get the right one. Then I'll guess we'll have take this one off and use it as a spare. This is kind of tricky doing one-handed, but I think it can be done. There, should be back in action. Well, it worked up nice. I think I'm definitely going to see an improvement. And this wraps up the video. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll probably do an update. Stay tuned.